Unfortunately, just days before the start of Commanders training camp, wide receiver Terry McLaurin and rookie cornerback Trey Amos have not signed contracts, or at least Terry McLaurin has not signed a new extension. Trey Amos has not signed his rookie deal after being taken in the second round of the NFL draft by the Commanders this spring. And today we're going to be breaking down the reasons why these two players have not signed new deals with the Washington Commanders this offseason. And make sure you guys stay tuned to the end of today's edition of the Commanders Report for more bad news surrounding the Terry McLaurin negotiations. But before we get into all the action today, let me know down there in the comments section to kick us off, what is your confidence level in Adam Peters to get these deals done? Put it on a scale of 1, meaning no confidence he's going to get them done, to 10 being it's pretty much a done deal. It's just a matter of when and not if. So we'll start with the rookie here, and rookie corner Trey Amos out of Ole Miss. He's a second-round pick for the Commanders this year, and he still hasn't signed his rookie contract, just like most of the second-round picks in the NFL this year, because of a couple of rookies that got drafted in the second round this year. They got fully guaranteed deals. That's what everyone else wants right now. So 30 of 32 second-round picks in the NFL this year still haven't signed their rookie contracts. The only ones that have signed their deals are the Browns linebacker Carson Schlesinger and then the Texans wide receiver Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State. So because these two guys got guaranteed deals, fully guaranteed deals on their rookie contracts, that's kind of set a precedent among agents and these rookie players that says, hey, apparently we're giving fully guaranteed deals to rookies now, so that's what I want, right? So every round 2 pick in the NFL draft this year is now holding out to get a fully guaranteed deal, just like Schlesinger and Jaden Higgins got. And, of course, that is seeping into the Commanders pick here in Trey Amos as well. And then even more bad news is that Trey Harris, the wide receiver out of Ole Miss, in fact, Trey Harris's old teammate, Amos's old teammate there at Ole Miss with the Run Rebs, is already holding out of Chargers training camp. The rookies have already reported there in L.A., and Trey Harris is not there at training camp right now. So if like Trey Harris and Trey Amos are both communicating with each other, and the fact that they went to the same college would certainly indicate that they could be, that could indicate that Amos as well is probably planning on holding out of Commanders training camp if he does not get a deal done with the team before the time camp begins later this month. Now, it's certainly possible that one domino could fall here, and that's going to lead to everybody else getting these deals done with their second-round rookies. But I think that if Trey is not there for the start of Commanders training camp, I think the Commanders will be okay. All right, from a personnel perspective, this is why you bring in a Jonathan Jones in free agency, somebody that can play on the inside, somebody that can play on the outside, somebody that is a good player for the Washington Commanders. And he didn't have a great season last year with the New England Patriots, but this is why you bring in a guy like Jones, or if something goes awry, if something goes wrong, if there's an injury, Jones can play in the slot and on the outside. He had a really good offseason program, and if Amos is not there to start camp and Jonathan Jones is getting all of the first team reps, he's going to get a leg up in this CB2 competition. And I would say the longer we see Trey Amos sit out of Commanders training camp this year, the more likely it becomes that he is a backup player for this defense, at least to start the 2025 season. And the more likely Jonathan Jones is this team's starting CB2 next to Mike Samerstrill and, of course, Marshawn Lattimore in this Commander secondary here in 2025. Now, let me know down there in the comments section, who is going to start opposite of Marshawn Lattimore as an outside corner in Week 1 for the Commanders this year. Type TA for Trey Amos or type JJ for Jonathan Jones. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. Just a second here. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break. And when that happens, let me know down there in the comments section which corner is going to be the CB2 Week 1 for the Commanders. Then some bad news if you were hoping for a Terry McLaurin deal to get done relatively soon. Another wide receiver deal got done today around the league as Garrett Wilson, the Jets wide receiver, got a 4-year, $130 million extension today. That gives him $32.5 million per season and gives him $90 million guaranteed as well. And I would say with Terry McLaurin looking for a new contract, at the very least, he's looking to get what Garrett Wilson got. Like at the very least, because even though Garrett Wilson's a big talent, He hasn't had a bunch of help at the quarterback position to this point in his NFL journey, and because of that, the production I don't think necessarily matches the contract value here. This is definitely a projection that the Jets are making in the talented Wilson. But you take a look at the production last year between Wilson and McLaurin, and even though Wilson had almost 20 more catches than McLaurin last year, McLaurin almost had the same amount of yards as Wilson, and he had almost double the amount of touchdowns. And of course, he had the higher PFF grade. So if you're Terry McLaurin and you are an all-pro wide receiver and somebody that was not an all-pro just got paid all that money, Terry's got to be looking at that and saying, I need to get at least that amount of money and probably a little bit more than that in order for me to be happy with that. But right now, it seems like Adam Peters has taken a page out of John Lynch, the 49ers playbook, in terms of contract negotiations, and he's playing hardball with Terry McLaurin to try and get him to take a lower deal to benefit the football team and kind of extending this thing out even further. John Lynch is very well known for extending these contract negotiations until the very start of seasons to try and get a bargain for his players. And Terry could also hold out of camp initially. This is the reporting that we're getting, is that if Terry does not get a deal done, or if there's not at least progress made on a new deal for a contract extension that he feels is good enough progress, I don't think he's going to be on the field. At the very least, I think he's going to be holding in if he does not have that deal done, or at least progress has not been made on that new deal. And it wouldn't shock me at all if he's just not there entirely and he's holding out of Washington Commanders training camp if things don't move forward in the weeks to come. And last year, the two wide receiver camp holdouts were CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys, who got his deal very, very close to the start of the regular season. Same thing goes for Brandon Aiyuk, where it was literally like week 1 when he got his deal with the San Francisco 49ers. And unfortunately for those two receivers, holding out for that long did not mean good things for them individually or for the teams that waited so long, man. Like, this has become the new norm in the NFL, where these contract negotiations go to like the very end of the preseason, right before the regular season. And especially for these wide receivers, and that wide receiver quarterback relationship really depends on chemistry and timing and getting all those kinks worked out in preseason. If you're not practicing before the season begins, it can definitely lead to a slow start. Jamar Chase also had this issue last year with the Cincinnati Bengals, by the way. But my advice to the Washington Commanders, because of the history that we have seen with these wide receivers waiting for new deals up until the start of seasons, and then all of a sudden, they're playing for their teams without practicing in the preseason. It hasn't worked out well. So if you don't want that to happen in Washington, my advice to Adam Peters is just get this deal done. I don't think Terry is asking for anything that he hasn't earned. He's an all-pro receiver. If you want to kind of manipulate the guarantees so that if you're worried about regression, you can kind of work around that and get rid of him if he regresses heavily. But plain and simply, this team wants Terry to be here. Terry wants to be here. So I don't see any reason to play hardball and just give him a ridiculously low offer. I think this is a bad way to do business, and it could come back to bite the Commanders in the ass, especially early in the season if Terry McLaurin is not practicing in training camp. So let me know down there in the comments section which situation is more worrisome. The Trey Amos situation with all these second-round picks trying to get more guaranteed money, type Trey if you're more worried about that, or if you're more worried about Terry McLaurin missing time during training camp this year, type Terry down there in the comments section. That'll be it for today's edition of the Commanders Report. Make sure you click that thumbs up icon and type those real ones down there in the comments section if you made it to the end of today's show. Only the real ones make it to the end of the show, so we want to show you guys some love down there in the comments section if you made it to the end of today's program. And don't forget to click that subscribe button as well, because we give you guys free, in-depth, and informative Commanders content on this channel every single day. Help us get one step closer to 50,000 subscribers here on the Commanders Report by clicking that subscribe button right now.